All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to McLeod Athletic Park on this chilly Sunday morning for the BCPFA Provincial Championships. Next game on the docket is in the Junior Bantam 9-man division. We have the Kelowna Grizzlies representing SIFC taking on Cowichan Valley Bulldogs representing BCPFA. Introducing your visiting Kelowna Grizzlies, we have number 1, Trey Jackman. Number 2, Kingston Walker. Number 3, Max Sabby. Number 5, Jonathan Murphy. Number 8, Ryder Soroka. Number 9, Easton Sandor. Number 12, Seth Sylvester. Number 13, Nolan Benson. Number 15, Philip Thiessen. Number 19, Cashton Orban. Number 21, Daniel Lowe. Number 22, Kingsley Dewhurst. Number 24, Connor Hammond. Number 30, Oliver Myers. Number 58, Tenzin Gu. Number 60, Jason Lee. Number 73, James Smith. Number 74, Liam Paragon. Number 88, Connor Groveling. And number 99, Eli Assistant coaches, William Lowe, Nick Schroeder, Adam Smith, Craig Thiessen, and Daryl Lowe. Let's hear it for Kelowna Grizzlies! And introducing the home team, Cowichan Valley Bulldogs. We have number 1, Landon Lever. Number 11, Dominic Reeves. Number 12, Kason Rondawa. Number 13, Eli Atchison. Number 21, Caleb Thomas. Number 22, Jesse Press. Number 24, Micah Kendrick. Number 34, Atlas Woodard. Number 36, Shane Botteller. Number 38, Hunter Phillips. Number 42, Ty Bartolucci. Number 49, Keon Shelley. Number 60, Carter Freeland. Number 64, Ryder LaFrance. Number 70, Alice Ryder. Number 80, Ethan Larange. Number 84, Oakland Aburo. Number 87, Lincoln Robertson. And number 88, Alexander Erickson. Head coach Tristan Ryder. Assistant coaches Phil Reeves, Gordon Wheeler, Shane managers, Jennifer Laver and Angela Canning. Team trainers, Carlon Kalabeski, Christine Thomas, and Lena Godfroy. Ladies and gentlemen, I would ask you to please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. We would also like to recognize that we are playing on the traditional unceded territory of the Kickoff, Katsi, Matsqui, and Semiahmoo First Nations. We thank them for their ongoing care of the land, the skies above, and the seas around. Some football! Oh, come on.
Junior Bantam 9-man action provincial championship between the Cowichan Bulldogs and the Kelowna Grizzlies. Going to be a good one here. Hopefully, as we saw a blowout in the first game between Cloverdale and Coquitlam. Cloverdale with a 49-0 win there. That was in the Pee Wee 12-man championship. This is game 2 of the day. We've got 4 on the slate in total, Gord, but looking forward to at least a better contest than we saw in the first one, a more competitive one at least, as Cloverdale full marks in their 49-0 victory.
Yeah, Cloverdale controlled that one from beginning to end this morning, hoping for something a little bit more competitive here. And interesting, the fog, for those of you who were with us first thing this morning, know that the fog was really thick throughout that first game. You can see it's cleared up significantly here. Kind of cool, though. You can still see these little kind of patches just kind of floating around the field. I'm sure once the players start running around, that'll open things up even more so. But looks like the weather is going to continue to cooperate. It's been a perfect weekend for us weather-wise.
Absolutely, and you see the Kelowna team there in the red with the white trim on the letters, and to the right you see Cowichan with that maroon and black with the yellow trim. Very distinctive jerseys this time around between the two squads, and yeah, just hoping for a little more competition, that is, in this second game, as Cloverdale really put it to Coquitlam in that first one, but let's see what we get from the teams.
For sure. So we're up a level here, so we're now up to junior bantams. So you're now looking at 12 and 13-year-olds on the fields. But we are also moving to 9-man for this game. Again, for those of you who were with us this morning, that was 12-man. So you had full to the white sidelines. You're going to have the slightly narrower fields using the American width. So the red lines on the field will be the sidelines here, which can sometimes cause a little bit of confusion until you get used to it. Just keep your eyes peeled for those red lines on the field for the sidelines. Other than that, full length, 9-man each side.
Both teams jacked up right now as well.
Oh, would you not be excited for?
Well, of course.
Championship football.
I'd be into this. There goes our buddy, the seagull, flying by the camera once again.
Do you think that's the same bird?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He's smart.
Oh, she could have distinguishing characteristics for that one.
Trying to take my fries away. I once saw a seagull.
I don't know, man. That might be a good thing for you.
It's in here. All right. I once saw a seagull take
Maybe
a
few
plate.
too many fries in your life.
I saw a seagull take a whole plate of somebody's nachos one time.
Oh, that would have been fun.
Whole plate.
Especially there's a really good nacho truck here today. They make like a $18.
Well, apparently I
nachos.
should stay away from it, according to you. So I will be snacking on greens this afternoon. We'll see if Cowichan can snack on Kelowna or vice versa as they kick things off here to kick off the Junior Bantam 9-man championship as it gets fielded right around the 30-yard line. As he cuts it up through the middle, gets around the 50. And a decent pickup there to kick things off from number 21, Daniel Lowe of Kelowna.
Yeah, nice little return from Lowe there. They'll start just short of midfield here for the first offensive possession. Of course, the Kelowna Grizzlies, or as some of their branding on the sidelines here say, also West Kelowna Grizzlies, but the Kelowna Grizzlies there in red with the black helmets.
A reminder, get into that 50-50 jackpot up to $1,680. So divide that in half, and you could be taking that home. We'll have the details up on the screen in just a moment here as they run it up the gut. About 5 yards there, 5 or 6 perhaps.
That's Lowe again getting the first touch on offense. Clearly one of their featured athletes. Quarterback for Kelowna, number 19, Cashton Orban.
Cashton looking to cash in today for the Grizz. So, second down, a few yards to go. Out of the shotgun, a little pitch play, runs it up into the inside, and that's Max Sabby, excuse me. Sabby with a big pickup there right around the 30-yard line, and they are in business, are the Grizz.
Yeah, nice little quick pitch, kind of an end-around play as Sabby comes around with Lowe lead blocking for him. And does a really good job finding a seam there. Missed the number on it, but a nice little kick-out block from the left tackle there to give him a hole to go through as well. A couple little wrinkles here early on the first couple plays for Kelowna.
First down from 30, from Cowichan's 30. As they hand off the ball once again, and it's going to be Lowe who's going to run things into perhaps a first down. Looking pretty close there. We'll see where they spot him. That's going to be second down and maybe half a yard.
Nice little bread and butter play that you see a lot of spread offenses run here. This is what we call a GT counter. So the GT stands for guard and tackle. So you're pulling around your two offensive linemen from the backside to lead block there. And that was in that particular instance was 73 James Smith and number 8 Ryder Soroka pulling around to lead block for that.
So Orban now, shotgun. He's got Lowe to his left. Couple of men in motion. And just sort of fakes that he's going to go right and then goes just back left to Lowe, who's going to try to get that outside, and he cuts back in. And a good pickup there. Going to be first down, first and goal now for the Grizz.
Yeah, it looks like they were trying to set up a halfback screen there, although they didn't really get much blocking out in front of it. But all the skill players were kind of lined up and moving towards the right there, and then Lowe just kind of leaked back out to the left. Unfortunately, the offensive lineman in front of him kind of got turned around and didn't give him a lot of help, but only needed 2 yards on the play. He got a lot more than that, and Kelowna in business first and goal here from the 7-yard line.
I like that play call there from Orban. A lot of patience in the pocket there from the young man as well. So here we are, first down and goal as he hands it off. Cuts up the gut, takes a big hit there, and in on the tackle is big number 64. We know that kid. That's Ryder LaFrance. We were chatting with him before the game.
Yeah, he's got a freshly molded mouth guard.
Yes, he does.
We were lined up to get coffee, and he was in a little bit of a tizzy looking for some
hot
boiling water to get his mouth guard molded up properly.
Future broadcaster, we heard, perhaps.
Yeah, he asked us, is this easy? And I said, well, we make it look easy.
Yeah, exactly. Here we are now, second down and goal. Orban, again, with the handoff to Lowe, who cuts up and inside and ends up getting chased down. Looked like that was Nolan Benson on the tackle. I believe that was,
Excuse me.
Eli Atkinson.
So That GT counterplay going the other way this time. So a couple different blockers. It was number 3, Max Sabi, and 74, Liam Paragudoff lead blocking for Low there.
All right, so this is 3rd down now. Let's see if Cowichan can get a big stop on their doorstep. As Orban is in shotgun once again. He's got receivers two to his right. He hands it off to Lowe, who goes inside, and he gets in for the major. Puts 6 on the board, the opening series for Kelowna. The Grizz up 6-0 early.
And Cowichan was agonizingly close to getting the stop there. As there was a defender in the backfield that had a chance at Lowe, but Lowe kept his feet moving and made sure to fight his way across the line. That's what you want to see from your running back there. You know, anybody can get the yards that are blocked up for them, but you need running backs to be able to create their own yards sometimes. This is a perfect example. As you can see, 22 clean off the edge there, had a shot at him. That was Jesse Prest. And Lowe just ran through him, broke the arm tackle, made sure to get to where he needed to get, which was over that big white line.
So Lowe with the 1-yard TD run, and they kick it up, and it's no good. So it'll remain 6-0 for Kelowna as they score in their opening series here. And as I mentioned earlier, a reminder about the 50-50 jackpot that is online only at rafflebox.ca. You'll see the details on the screen here after we get through the replay, but there is the missed PAT.
Threw me off a little bit. It looked like it ticked off the outside of the goalpost there, and I thought it might have snuck through, but it was on the outside of the post.
Want to remind everybody as well, coming up December 3rd at Percy Perry, the Football Canada, that is, National Junior Tryout. You can get all the details at Football Canada's website on how you can register. Of course, Steve Sumara, the head coach there. You're familiar with Steve?
I am indeed, yeah. Steve has been around the block, and then it's probably halfway around the second time at this point in time.
Knows his football.
In particular, this is his second stint at St. Mary's University as the head coach there.
So the Grizz go to kick things off, and they do so. And lands right around the 31-yard line, but bounces back to the 20. And all that Cowichan do is lay on the football, as that is
Oakland Burrell
there.
Number 84 struggling to corral that one. But so that's going to give Cowichan a bit of a long field for their first offensive possession here.
So see what we can get here from the Bulldogs.
As they'll come out, their quarterback, number 11, Dominic Reeves, lining up under center on this first play here. And he's going to go talk to one of his. Oh, look at this little sleeper play as they direct snap it.
Oh, ball's out on the ground. It's still fumbling around. Oh, there's the Bulldogs on top of it, though. Holy. That could have been disaster early on, especially with the field position here.
And I think it was the original runner that managed to fall back on the ball after it bounced around a little bit there, Jesse Prest, and 22.
And right there you can see Easton Sander who was able to get that ball out. But, yeah, you're absolutely right.
I was mistaken. That was 38, I think, Hunter Phillips that ended up falling on it.
Maybe you're absolutely wrong then. Excuse me. Shotgun snap here on 2nd down. And they snap it up high. And this one is on the turf again. Going to see who's on top of that. It looks like it's number 34.
Yeah, a little bit disjointed there, and I think they rushed the snap. One of the receivers was still working to get set there, but the shotgun snap was popped up in the air, and they were trying to hand it to Atlas Woodard, number 34, quickly there, and it just, with the snap being off, the quarterback had a tough time getting the ball down and getting into the breadbasket, and all this kind of stuff. So, interesting. So there's a interesting
penalty on the play?
Well, they signaled like the illegal procedure, the false start signal, but on the defense, which is not typically how that's done, but okay.
2nd down.
Anyway, 5-yard penalty on the defense.
3 to go here as the snap is high. They pitch it off, and look at this defense. But, he's able to get through it. And Kingston Dewhurst gets taken down. Gets taken down in the backfield. That's going to be a bit of a loss, I think, there. So Cowichan on 3rd down.
Yeah, pressed with getting the ball there again, but another popped-up snap on the shotgun snap, and then a couple free rushers right through the offensive line right away here. And this sets up a 3rd and about 6. And this is probably a punt situation, as you can see the personnel changing out for Cowichan as well.
So it looks like the Bulldogs are going to kick it away here. And they got lucky a little bit there with the ball hitting the turf a couple times, but able to recoup the pigskin. Let's see if they can get a stop on defense here as they kick the ball away, as it's a high snap. And oh no, it's hit the turf again. And this time, just fall on top of it does Kelowna. And look at this field position that the Grizz are going to have for their second series.
Yeah, honestly, the snap looked like it hit Jesse Prest right in the hands. It looked like he had it. And then when he went to punt it, he just straight up dropped it. And then once the ball was on the ground, like, you need to dive on that. You cannot try and scoop it. So you see he's got it in his hands here. And then when he went to punt, he just drops it. And then he tries to pick it up while still on his feet. And the Kelowna defender just falls on it smartly. I think that was 73 again. James Smith recovering the fumble.
So they'll start from the 18-yard line. And toss the ball, does Orban. Good catch, hit a high point it there. That's Seth Sylvester. Boy, say that one 5 times fast. Sylvester with a great grab there, though. As we see in the replay here, Orban with the toss and great pickup. Ryder Soroka, excuse me.
We got 2nd and about 2 there. A little less than 2, more like 1.5. After the good chunk play on first down here. Want to knock it on the door again after that botched punt play for Cowichan.
Orban hands it off.
And somebody moved early.
Yeah.
One of the backside pullers, in fact, I think that was Soroka, who's going to be the pulling blocker on that play. Just got a little antsy, left a little bit early. That can happen when you have a pulling blocker. They know they have to cover a lot of ground and get out of their stance quickly, so they can sometimes jump the gun a little bit. And I think that's exactly what happened there. You watch the left side right behind the quarterback, you can see that. Just that little bit of early movement for number 8 in red there.
Camera work from our crew. So that sets up 2nd down now. Orban again in the shotgun as Lowe moves off to his left and he looks right at him and picks it up, tries to cut into the inside and ends up getting taken down by a couple of Bulldogs there. Might be close to a first down.
Yeah, so a little swing pass concept there, and one of the things that happens when you're throwing a swing pass out to the wide side like that is you're relying on your receivers to make some blocks for you to create space for your running back, and Lowe just does not get the blocks there as the Cowichan defenders. Prest was the first one there. And then 24, Micah Kendrick cleans it up. And a good stop there, and we'll see. It looks like Kelowna is going to keep the offense on the field here in 3rd and 2. Which I like. Two's a manageable pickup.
I formation here. Orban hands it off, and he cuts up and in. Looks like this is going to be close.
Yeah, I think he'll have just enough for the first down here. Yeah, they're going to mark him just outside the 7-yard line, so that'll be enough for the first down. As yeah, nothing too fancy there, which is kind of what you want in a short yardage, important pickup situation. Just power to the right. Fullback lead blocks. I think it was number 1 Trey Jackman in as the fullback there. And so Kelowna now a 1st and goal from just outside the 7-yard line.
So here we are, first down now as they flip the downs and pitch it off. Trying to cut to the outside. He's got one man to beat. Good tackle there, though. Loving that.
I think that was 84. Oakwood Burrell in there again.
Burrell, not the...
Mentioned that name a couple times already today.
Not the biggest in stature, but takes down Lowe with ease here.
And what he does so effectively here is he attacks him low in the body. And when, especially as a smaller player, you got to learn that skill early on, is that you're going to have to live around the knees of the ball carriers if you're going to be successful.
So now the Grizz on 2nd down and goal. Out of the shotgun is Orban as he hands it off once again to Lowe. Lowe cuts it up the middle. Can he get into the end zone? Do we see a signal yet?
Little short.
Little short, yeah.
Fought it down just to the goal line, but couldn't quite break the plane. Another little counter play there to Lowe. They really like feeding this back. He saw the crease and just outran one of his blockers just a little bit there. His blocker, Max Savvy, number 3, got held up a little bit. I think if Savvy keeps running and if Lowe's able to stay behind him, he probably gets in the end zone there.
So Orban now out of shotgun once again. He's got Lowe behind him. And he does it once again, just hands it off, and he goes up the middle. But look at this! The Bulldogs taking a bite.
Yeah,
good stand.
Big third down stuff there, as Kelowna just didn't get the block and tried to just run it up the middle. And the 2 big tackles there, Atlas Ryder, number 70, and Ryder LaFrance, 64, lead the charge and just stack them up. Big stop for the Bulldogs there. And hopefully their offense can be a little bit more organized than they were the first time out here, because they three plays, put the ball on the ground 3 times.
Not the best, as Louis Domingue once said.
Not the way you drew it up. Okay, coach is running on the field, so I think we got a timeout here.
Well, they take a timeout. We'll take a timeout here from McLeod. 6-0 is your score. Kelowna on top of Cowichan. Right here, it is the Junior Bantam 9-man championship from McLeod and Langley. Stick with us. And back into the booth here at McLeod as we get set. As
we got a safety
down,
here.
we're going to have the safety, doing the safety dance. You can dance if you want to. Beautiful play there for Kelowna.
Easton Sandor, number 9, making the play there as Cowichan looked like they tried to do a little bit of an end around to Eli Atchison 13, and he did not have a hope. Sandor unblocked into the backfield here. And while the stop preventing Kelowna from getting the touchdown was big for Cowichan, they essentially concede on the first play. Not the end of the world, especially in the Canadian. Like, if you had gone 2 and out there, you probably would have conceded the safety on the punt play voluntarily anyway. So
we talked about this yesterday in one of the games that we were doing as well, and in a situation where they probably should have conceded the safety, they didn't, and then what happened? They ended up getting scored on, and it basically doubled at that point, or I guess times 4 at that point.
Yeah, I mean, for those of you that watch primarily the American game, safeties are viewed very differently in American football than they are in Canadian football. In Canadian football, they're kind of a regular part of the game. They're almost a defensive strategy when you're pinned in deep that, you don't want to concede a safety if you can avoid it, but if you're pinned in deep, it makes more sense to concede the 2 points and get some field position back, because they weren't going to be able to kick it anywhere out to the far 35.
Yep.
So
start this drive off from the 35-yard line. Do the Grizz.
They're switching it up here. So they're handing off to 24 Connor Hibbard this time.
Grizzlies up 8-0 right now, as they've got the lone touchdown on their first drive. And that, of course, was Daniel Lowe that reached the end zone there with that goal line scamper. They load up the right side here. Orban now out of shotgun, and that was offside, but no flags. And he drops the ball. Ends up getting sacked. No, yeah, there it is. But boy, I think the Bulldogs will take this rather than the penalty.
Allegedly was offside. Allegedly.
Well, we can see right here, and nothing alleged as the replay just showed it right there, but Orban just dropped the football, and right on pursuit was Eli Atkinson.
And that'll be the end of the first quarter. Referee's just
all right. Well,
done this little flag twirl.
We'll flip things over here as the teams will flip sides. Want to remind people, Team BC ID camps December through February. All players must participate in ID camp to be eligible for Team BC selection. Open to all players in BC. Full gear required. U10 to U14 eligible for regional games. Snoot Bowl 7-on-7 and 5-on-5, U16 to U18, Canada Cup, Western Challenge, and selects U17. Coaches traveling to each zone for ID camps: Surrey, Langley, Victoria, Nanaimo, Kelowna, Prince George. You can register on bcpfa.powerupsports.com. So here we are, second Q, and Kelowna leads 8-0 in the Junior Bantam 9-man championship here from McLeod.
So it looks like, even though we didn't see the flag, it does look like you got a penalty there. They're marking 1st and 15 here. But, okay. What?
Something odd
clearly
is
the
going
sticks.
on
Clearly
here.
the sticks are off right now.
Yeah.
It should be after the sack. Should be third down, which is why they punted.
It's a little confusion on the sidelines here. Nonetheless, it is Cowichan ball now. So
the old first down pooch punt.
If you're Cowichan right now, though, you gotta like the fact that you don't like the fact that you had to concede the safety, but you do like the fact that you're able to get that stop. But that's now 2 series in a row that they're able to take down.
Clamp down eventually, yeah.
Yep. So let's see if they can.
But that Cowichan offense has got to get something going here because they have really struggled. They've had 4, well, you count the punt, 4 offensive plays from scrimmage, 3 fumbles and a safety.
Well, the key, they're not out of it yet.
That is true. Yeah, despite all of that, it is a 1-score football game right now at 8-0. So
here we see now as Dominic Reeves under center hands the ball off, cuts to the right side, sheds one tackle, has to drag another man, and going to be close. About an 8 or 9 yard pickup there. A good, solid run from Jesse Prest.
It's your boy, Jesse Prest. He runs hard. Like the skill here from the young running back. He's run through a few tackles today.
And you can see a couple of tackles that he was able to shed there, and you can see all the fog has completely burned off here, and we're starting to get a beautiful day down at McLeod. And if you're just hanging around watching the live stream and you're in the area, why don't you come down? We got everything here for you. Great football, great food, great atmosphere. As they run the ball up the gut once again, and it's Prest this time, picking up the first down, and that is the first down for Cowichan today.
I don't know about you, but I am impressed.
Yeah, so far so good. And like we said, didn't really get much of a competitive game in the first one today. Looking for a more competitive game in the second one, and so far I think we're seeing it. But we got to get Cowichan into the end zone here if they can. So far we've seen it from Kelowna. What can Cowichan do as they're led by Dominic Reeves?
Formation here.
Yeah, look at the movement, and there's the end around, and he's able to beat his man, but he's going backwards, though. And it goes, big hit there. Oh, lay the lumber, why don't you? I think that was Soroka in on the hit. But, yeah, what we talked about a couple times now, Gord, just.
Well, this is, so instinctually, I get it. Players will see the defender coming upfield like that, and they'll want to run away from where the defender is.
That was Easton Sandor, laying the lumber.
But in that particular situation, what you want to try and do to get around that tackle is not go around the tackle. You want to cut inside of that tackle. If the defender's going one way and you put your foot in the ground and go the other way, not only is that the way that you want to be going downfield, but it's also going to be tougher for that defender to stop his momentum, change direction, and make the play, rather than trying to run the direction he's already running and get around him. Like he does there, but you had to bubble so much to get around him that you're now, like, he was 10 yards deep in the backfield by the time he got around that tackle.
Yeah. But again, this goes back to what we're talking about, these sort of trickery plays. Like, instead of.
Well, it's something that we have to coach a lot at the high school level too with ball carriers, is stop trying to run around tacklers, run through tacklers. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to impact them and hit them. Sometimes it does. But what it means is you see a tackler approaching you, get inside of him and get vertical.
So we saw Micah Kendrick there. And on 3rd down and 8 to go here for Cowichan, they decide to throw. It's Reeves as he goes across. Oh, almost got picked there. That was intended receiver Alexander Erickson.
I think he maybe heard some footsteps there as the safety Kingston Walker was coming down pretty hard on him, and instead of catching it with his hands, the ball hit him right in the chest, but instead of catching it with his hands, he let the ball hit him right in the chest. Here, and the thing is, with the shoulder pads that you're wearing, you got that hard plastic plate on your chest, you are going to have a very hard time catching a ball that is thrown that it hits you in the chest and then trying to trap it. So you want to try and catch that ball out from your body with your hands because your hands can cushion the ball, right? I feel like if you're playing baseball and you just tried to catch everything with your chest in the outfield.
Good luck with that. As they look for the deep ball, Orban throws it up, and it's caught. Beautiful catch there. Jonathan Murphy. And can he take it to the house? He's got one man in pursuit. Oh, good tackle there, but what a pass and catch from the Grizz.
Absolutely beautiful tackle, and in fact, Kingston Walker goes over to Jesse Preston, recognizes him for that effort as Prest at full sprint, full layout, does the old heel tap tackle. That was a really, really good play. Not to overshadow the really good offensive play, but that was a really, really good play by number 22. Watch this here. He's going to lay out and he's going to fire his right arm to try and knock the shoe out, and that's exactly what he does. Great play by the safety, number 22.
That's Jesse Prest.
Brilliant looking throw there, by the way.
Absolutely.
Ashton Orban.
That is a
falling right into the arms of Jonathan Murphy out of the sky.
Big pickup there as you can hear the horns just blazing for Kelowna as he gets up into the end zone. That's Lowe with another major on the game. That's 2 for him now. Put another 6 on the board for the Grizz.
And while Cowichan had been hanging around prior to that and had kind of dug in their heels defensively, gotten a couple stops, maybe feeling better about themselves, you know, you get the big explosion play on the pass over the top, which I really like the call on first down there, and then you go back to your kind of bread and butter, give it to your guy Lowe, and power it into the end zone from there. So 14-0 pending the extra point here. So line up to kick it for 2.
So starting from their own 30 on that one, as it's a poor snap, and Orban's going to be forced to run out. Good tackle there from the Bulldogs, but that is another 6 on the board for the Grizz. Make that 14-0 now, and a second touchdown of the game for Lowe. As we see the replay here. See exactly what went wrong. Not a great snap. Had to field it with his right arm. And then Orban just gets chased down there.
Another really good form tackle there. That was 24 Micah Kendrick going in there. That's an example of what we call hawk tackle.
Yeah, one of the things I think we've seen from Cowichan so far is, you know, they can tackle. They can make some tackles. Problem is, big chunk plays like that are really tough, and also too, if you're putting the ball on the turf like we saw earlier with them, they're just making things compound for them. So
yeah, thus far it looks like Kelowna has maybe the better set of athletes on the whole, and that's been tough for Cowichan to keep track of.
So we'll see if the Bulldogs can get something cooking here, down 2 scores. But the Grizz have not been able to get the point after. They do have the safety as well, so that's what equaling up the score to 14. But yeah, we got to get something going here with the Bulldogs offense. And as we saw from the Grizz, like when they have those big chunk plays, a beautiful throw there. Pass and catch between Orban and Murphy, yeah.
Yeah, Cowichan going to have to try and find some way to get something going on offense. They have been stuck in neutral for the entire, I guess, still morning so far.
As they do a bit of trickery there. It was kind of confusing to see exactly who got the ball, but it went into the hands of Atlas Woodard.
Working the end around look there, and Woodard does a good job to shake the one tackler right at the line of scrimmage, and then have a lot of real estate in front of him, and he'll turn the ball over. He'll turn the chains over, move the sticks for first down.
We've seen Cowichan in the last series be able to move the sticks. The two previous, a 3-and-out, and then they conceded the safety. So we did see some positives on their third drive, although they ended up turning it over on downs, but they got deep into Kelowna's territory. Let's see what they do here as they move the sticks for their first down of this drive. And Reeves now.
Somebody got a hand on that.
Yeah.
While he's trying to throw it out quickly into the flat, but I mean, to be honest, his receiver hadn't even turned his head yet, so I don't know if this would have been completed anyway, but somebody for Kelowna got across the line real quick and got a hand on this. That was number 9 again, Easton Sandor. He's had a number of plays early on here on the defensive side.
As you see the current jackpot up to $17.50 right now, you could be taking home half of that. Get in on the raffle. 50-50. As they pitch the ball back off. And that's pressed. The press tries to run to the outside, but there's nothing doing there. As
another nice play by the big man, James Smith.
Yeah.
73. He's got some good size, but he's got movement skills as he chases down that toss from the backside and makes the play all the way from the backside of the formation. That's a good play by big number 73 there.
Yeah, big tackle from 73. So that brings up 3rd down, and they're going to have to boot this one away again. So again, we haven't seen a whole lot from the Bulldogs when it comes to offense, and they've conceded the 2 scores so far. They're going to have to get a stop here as they kick it away. It lands right around the 40 and goes out of bounds there. So a decent kick for Cowichan will have Kelowna setting up right around the 39, 38 line, I believe.
Yeah, something
See where
like
they
that.
spot it. Yeah.
So pretty good kick there. Prest also serving as the kicker for Cowichan. Got a decent little boot off there. With five minutes left in the second quarter here, Kelowna has a chance to really put some breathing room between them and Cowichan if they can put together another drive here before the half.
So they'll start from their own 37-yard line, will the Grizz.
Let's see if they try to maybe go for a big play early on in the drive again here.
And the horns are just ablazing out there. I think somebody might have fallen on that horn.
It's jammed.
It's jammed. As we'll see now from the shotgun. That's not annoying. As he tosses it up into the air looking for Murphy once again, and he finds him.
No, he doesn't.
No, he drops it. Oh, wow. He's trying to plead his case as the horn goes off.
I meant to bounce it. It's double dribble.
As you see the replay here.
The person with the horn was so disappointed that they finally turned it off.
Oh, wow, just a last-second drop there, but
concentration drop. Defender flew by. Big roar. I think it might have been because the PA guy asked whoever had the horn to stop.
You got to like the fact that Cashton Orban is not afraid to go deep with the ball, though,
Oh,
right?
here we go.
As they run it up the gut there, there's low.
Got a pretty good chunk, but it's still not enough to turn it over after the incompletion.
We've got horns, we've got cowbells, we've got
I don't know why I keep
drums.
saying turn it over. That's not what I want to say.
You with us? You good? You need a Red Bull or something?
You know what? They didn't put coffee in the hospitality room today, and I am
listen
struggling.
to this guy. Oh,
I am struggling.
Holy.
Have to pay for our coffee like a pleb. Just kidding. The hospitality has been excellent here. We
love it.
We love coming back because we
Every
get
year.
treated really well here every time we are out.
Yeah, that's a
time out on the field here.
great little showcase each and every year that we get to be involved with, and some great football as well. Beautiful day today. I knew it was going to turn out like this. Took a little while, like you were mentioning. We are in a bit of a bowl here, so it took a bit for the marine layer to burn off.
Was called by Cowichan.
Have you ever been to San Francisco?
Oh, yeah.
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 They know what we're talking
I was
about.
going to say, they know what a marine layer is
Yeah.
like. I don't know. Would it technically be?
Is it a marine layer out this far?
I don't think it is.
No? Just fog?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm not a meteorologist. Barely a broadcast.
There you high school graduates.
As we'll see, third down here and just a couple more yards to go. Now the shotgun will be Orban. He's got flank to his left, 2 men, 1 to his right, as in motion there. All 3 of them are. As Orban now, he's looking to throw again, and he does, and it picks it up. That's Kingston Walker, and Kingston Walker going to pick up a first down.
Yeah, just a little crossing route from Walker there. He started on the left side and just worked his way across the formation. Orban gets a lot of time in the pocket to kind of sit back there, wait for him to clear the other side of the formation. It's tough for a defender to track a receiver all the way across the field like that. So if the quarterback has time to hit it, be a nice little concept. And that comfortably turns the chains over.
Shotgun snap once again, and they're very comfortable in this. We've seen that be an issue for some teams, not for the Grizz, as they hand off the ball to Lowe, who goes left and then tries to cut it back inside, ends up getting tackled there by Landon Laver. Good tackle from Laver.
And the running game consistently has been good for Kelowna, particularly on early downs. They've had a couple of short yardage stops, but particularly on early downs and in between the 20s, Lowe's been 6-7 yards a carry most of the time here.
So second down now. Orban shotgun fakes the pitch and then ends up handing it off. He goes left. Love that play call. Look at this. Has everybody in pursuit though. As Cowichan tries to get him down, and he just type-throats the sideline. Great pickup there from Dewhurst. Oh my, love that play call there from Kelowna.
Yeah, a little misdirection wrinkle there. We haven't called Dewhurst's name yet today, but they mix up the personnel, give a new ball carrier to it, and there's some misdirection in the blocking scheme up front as well. So nice little play design there for Kelowna going back the other way. But they are knocking on the door again with about 2.5 left in the half here.
Keeping you up? You good? Shotgun snap now for Orban as he hands it off inside. Cuts to the right side now, see if he can beat his man. And ends up getting tackled by 2 men there. And that was Dewhurst once again.
He's got some pretty good shakiness to him as well here.
As you see one defender in pursuit, and then the second guy gets in there and just leaps at him.
Wanted to ride on his shoulders.
Awesome. We've just been informed coffee will be in the break room in 5 minutes. They heard us. He's high maintenance, folks, not me. Not me.
Okay, so what else are we going to call out on there? So the caviar, I'm really missing.
Orban to the end zone. Look at this, though. Oh, my. What a catch by Walker. As the comedic styles of Gord Randall tried to interrupt that, but no. Kelowna going to put 6 more on the board. What a catch there from Walker.
Kingston Walker providing today's porterhouse.
What a pass and catch.
He's the porterhouse, and Cashton Orban is the lobster tail.
Yes, sir. A drive that started from their own 37 results in another major for the Grizz. Walker, Kingston Walker, that is, with his 17-yard touchdown catch, and they get the deuce this time, so it's up to 22 now. 21, excuse me, for Kelowna.
So nice job by Kelowna there. Expand the lead before we hit the half here. Really good stuff. We now have a 3-score game, and Cowichan kind of needs to find a way to get something on the board here before the half. One little management thing I've noticed, by the way, this weekend that has been really cool is they keep a kicking tee on top of the goalpost pad on either end zone. So if you watch when teams are going to kick the PAT, they'll just run over, grab the kicking tee from the pad, and set it up for the PAT. Clearly provided by the venue,
yep,
and not by the individual teams.
Yep. And keep it moving, right?
Mm-hmm.
As the Grizz will now kick things off, and Cowichan stuck 3 scores now. And they're going to field the ball right around their 35. And cuts up and in, able to shake 1 defender, 2 defenders, 3 now. Can he get that edge? Oh my, good pursuit tackle there, but gets it up right around midfield. What a pickup there, and that is Kendrick for the Bulldogs on the kick return.
Nice chase down tackle from Max Sabi there. That might have saved a touchdown, or certainly at least another big chunky yardage, but exactly what Cowichan needed. I was actually going to praise Kendrick for how cleanly he fielded that ball. It took a bounce, and he was able to pick it up on the bounce before the kickoff team got there. But Sabi, who was on the left side of the field where he first returned it, chases him all the way across the field and makes a really nice tackle just shy of midfield. So still a really good return for Kendrick, but it could have been a heck of a lot worse.
So here we go now with Cowichan on a great kick return. They'll start things off from their own 53-yard line. As look at this. Oh, little pitch play. Whoa, that was dangerous. Oh, my.
And they tried to do a little halfback pass there with Press throwing the ball downfield. And it was swallowed up right away. You can see he's getting ready to throw it here. And then when he starts to get wrapped up, he just kind of throws the ball to get it out. And they're likely going to call him for intentional grounding here.
Trey Jackman tried to get his mitts on it. That was Soroka that was in pursuit there. Almost had the sack.
And they're going to pick up the flag here as I guess they determined there was a receiver in the direction of where he threw the ball. Don't get me wrong, I think that's being enforced correctly based on the way the rule is, but the standards that we have for intentional grounding in football are really silly. Like, watch that play. Was he trying to throw it to a receiver? Of course he wasn't.
Second down now is
like, but you see that all the time, right?
And look at this. There's Soroka in on the sack, and who joined him in on the sack party? That would be number 3, Max Sabi.
And Soroka again in there too, number 8. I think one of the things that's been noticeable, there's a couple subs in there now, including one guy who's particularly small who's playing nose tackle right now for Kelowna, but the size difference between these two teams has been pretty noticeable. There are a couple of big bodies on the Cowichan roster, but it's kind of the mid-size that they're missing. Like there's a couple of big kids, and then everybody else is not the biggest. And you look at Kelowna, and you've got Soroka and Sandor. These kids have some really good length. You look behind them, even at the linebacker spot, Trey Jackman, he's got some pretty good length back there. The size difference, Kelowna is the noticeably bigger team of the two, and I think that's starting to show a little bit here.
This is interesting. So now they're going to actually make a play and just throw it away. Oh, wow, almost. So they showed punt, and then they decided, no, we're going to go for the pass, and ended up, resulting in the play now being with Kelowna starting in their own zone.
I don't love the decision to go for it there with 1:03 on the clock. Like, I get it. You want to try and get points before the half, sure. But you're at 3rd and 12 on your own 49-yard line. And 3rd and 14, actually, I think it was, on your own 39-yard line with just over a minute on the clock. Give them as long of a field as you can give them and get out of the half.
Especially down
Cut
3
your
scores.
losses.
Yeah, absolutely. So Cowichan now will start this drive. They're 6th of the first half from the 49-yard line. And again, shotgun again offside. We didn't see that flag, though. But look, is that a ball out? No, it's not. A little spin move there from Lowe.
And this is the luxury you have when you are starting inside the 50-yard line, inside the opposition's 50-yard line with your possession, is that you don't have to try and push the ball downfield now. You can pretty much run your entire offense. Now they got to move a little bit here, but 56 seconds, long piece of time when you're already comfortably inside the opposition's end.
Dewhurst and Hibbert were in on the tackle there. Or excuse me. That was Preston Kendrick in on the tackle there for Cowichan. They throw the ball down, looking for the intended receiver, which is Walker.
They got a little bit tangled up just as that ball was being released, and I think it was incidental contact. I think it's good non-call, but the receiver and the defensive back, I think that was Press 22 in coverage there as well. Just got a little bit tangled up just as Orban was releasing that.
So that brings up 3rd down now for the Grizz from the Cowichan 41.5-yard line. Shotgun. And this time, hands off to Lowe, and that's a first down as he cuts to the right there. Couldn't go much further, but doesn't matter. Moves the sticks.
Yep, and just need to get the first down there, but with 35 left here, Kelowna going to have to pick it up a little bit here.
As we see him weaving his way through, and a good tackle there from Kendrick. And we see the coaches out there for so we'll take a timeout here from McLeod. 21-0 for the Kelowna Grizzlies on top of the Cowichan Bulldogs here. And back to the action here as Kelowna looking to put another score on the board before the half, as in hot pursuit is LaFrance there. He throws it off. Good pass, and it's up in the air. Did anyone catch it? No, they didn't.
I think whoever came down with it, if they had held on, I think probably would have been out of bounds there, because there was a whole crowd right around that red line there. A nice job by LaFrance to flush Orban out of the pocket. Orban, a good job to get out, though, and create some time for himself. He's just not able to land that one. If his original receiver came down with that cleanly, maybe, but sailed him just a little bit. Not a lot of room for him to work with. So Kelowna, I think they do still have one timeout in their back pocket, but 2nd and 10 now here, with 28 seconds left on the clock.
Kingston Walker, the intended receiver there, and might have been able to haul that ball down, but nonetheless, 28 seconds to go here as they go shotgun snap once again. It's out to Lowe. Lowe now is going to try to ride one of his blockers, instead just stiff arms, tight ropes it around, able to dodge the defenders into the end zone. There he is, yes sir, but we do have some laundry on the play. We'll have to see what that one's all about. If it stands up, it'll be his 3rd TD of the half, but we'll have to see what this is all about first.
I think we're going to get a hold right around the first down marker here, and it's going to be a question as to whether it came out after the first down or not.
And that would be a 36-yard major if it stands up.
Let's see what the head referee signals here. They are definitely backing it up. Question is how much and what's on the sticks here. And the unfortunate thing for Kelowna is now time does become a factor, because the time that came off the clock on that play will remain off the clock.
You see the pass and catch there between Orban and Lowe.
So they are indicating a face mask here, actually.
I believe that was on.
Legal hands to the face, sorry. So not a full tug. So only a 10-yard penalty instead of a 15-yard penalty. But they did rule that it was after the first down.
So Shane Boatler, who was the defender who seemed to have gotten the face mask.
Got the hands to the face.
Yes, excuse me.
Excuse
me, hands to the face, yeah.
So it is 1st and 10. It was after the first down, but it's basically going to be play over, but with the first down on the stick and with only 17 seconds on the clock now. So that down matters a little bit, but not a lot, given the time left.
All right, well, let's see if the Grizz can get themselves into the end zone here from the 36 of Cowichan, as those two men are in motion. Get out there. LaFrance is in pursuit, and he gets him. Big sack there from LaFrance, and a big loss for the Grizz. That's going to be massive for Cowichan as they try to stop the Grizz from getting another score before the half.
Yeah, and Orban just straight up dropped the snap there. It hit him. It looked like it hit him right in the hands, but he put it on the ground, and then LaFrance was in there quickly on the backside, and because he had to pick up the ball first, he couldn't do a lot to get away from him. And not only does he do that, but he also gives up more ground to try and make something happen there, and ends up losing 11 yards on the play.
Sacks like that will keep him out of the broadcast booth, though. Keep him on the field.
Yeah, that is true. And what I like, too, is he gets up after the sack, and the first thing he does is check on the quarterback, because he hit him pretty good to make sure he was okay. Okay, you're good, okay.
Good sportsmanship.
Now I can settle. Now I can celebrate.
Like that.
But, yeah, hey, this is Kelowna's not put themselves in a tough position with that sack. So that's, as you mentioned, a really big play here. As the time ticks down, Kelowna now needs a big chunk of yardage.
Yeah, it's second and Whistler right now. That's way up to see this guy.
Dreaming of the slopes, are you?
Damn right. As we see Mount Baker in the distance here. Be riding there soon enough.
The old White Rock, as they call it.
Shotgun snap there. Yeah, that's offside once again, but they don't call it. And he swings it out to the right. And he can't. Did he make the catch?
Oh!
Look at this interception there. What a play from Micah Kendrick. Is that the reverse mossing? Kind of feels like it.
Yeah.
Kendrick is like, you got mossed.
Yeah, no, he Walker was the intended receiver there, and he did try to go over the top of Kendrick there, but Kendrick kept his body in front of the ball here. Made the play. That's a really nice play by the defensive back.
Look
to
at
recover
this.
on that ball in the air. And, oh, he got one hand
Oh,
on
he
it
just
initially.
takes it right out.
Wow.
You got moss, son. Wow, what a play there.
That's an outstanding play.
Micah Kendrick. Put that on the highlight tape. What a play.
And it was not orthodox necessarily, but the Bulldogs managed to put the clamps down here and get the stop before the half. That's big for them.
Huge for them. Yeah. Only 5 seconds on the clock here, so we'll see if they just try to manage it or will they try to go for a strike. We'll have to see.
Well, they're lining up in the shotgun. Oh, no, they're not. They're under center.
So Reeves now. Yeah. And they just go for the pitch play. Run it to the right side, and in hot pursuit are 3 defenders. So, yeah, they just play conservative there as they do the pitch play to Prest, and that will be the half. 21-0 is the score. Kelowna on top of Cowichan, although it's a 3-score game. It's tighter than what it seems right now. Stay with us, folks. We'll be back after the half right here from McLeod. It is the Junior Bantam 9-man BC Provincial Football Association Championship. Stick with us. We'll be back right after the half.
lots of football action to go. Another half in this game. And we have the Junior Bantam 12-man Provincial Championship. White Titans will be taking on the Savage Wolverines in that game. Bulldogs emerging from the top. Hopefully all had a chance going down concourse level, check out the food trucks. Awesome hot dogs, great baked goods, and the best tacos.
It's a one-and-one coffee.
When someone's here to spot, I'll go get it. I just spotted you on the rabbit. Yeah? Yeah.
Bulldogs will receive the opening kickoff in the second half. All right, let's make some noise. Grizzlies fans, where you at? Bulldogs fans, where you at? Football fans.
And welcome back into McLeod here in Langley as we're kicking off the second half between the Kelowna Grizzlies and the Cowichan Bulldogs. It's the championship game of the Junior Bantam 9-man. Right now, Kelowna leading 22-0 as they made the adjustment there on the score clock. It's 2 points for the PAT, so that made it 22-0 as Cowichan fields the ball first. We saw in the first half some dominance, obviously, on the scoreboard from the Grizz, but we did see some good things from Cowichan. Gord, as we welcome Gord Randall in here, and of course I'm Andrew Wadden as well for the second half action. The score maybe isn't indicative exactly of what this game has been so far.
No, I do think Cowichan's hung around. The challenge is that Cowichan has not been able to put together much in the way of offense so far today, but they've made some really nice defensive plays, couple of stuffs at the line of scrimmage, one on a third down play in particular, couple of sacks, an interception, a really nice interception right at the end of the half there. Speaking of which, man, who made that interception? Mike Kendrick taking the first play from scrimmage for Cowichan. That's a pretty good chunk pickup on first down. Looks like he picked up almost 8 yards there.
So Cowichan on their 5 series that they had on offense, a 3-and-out, a safety, 2 turnover on downs, and 1 punt. So they got to get the offense going right now, stating the obvious, down 22-0.
Yeah, they do indeed. But like I said, promising first play from scrimmage there. That's a good little chunk, gives you a nice manageable second down play, but they got to get a conversion here. I think they only had 1 first down in that first half.
All right, so there's the handoff now on a little bit of an end around, but that it doesn't deceive the defense. If they get right up in there and they swarm the Grizzlies, just clawing away on defense.
Yeah, Eli Atchison tried to give him, like you said, the end around, going back to the left there, and he manages to shake the first tackler, but he doesn't get vertical, isn't able to get vertical at that point because the fill guys are right there. 22, Kingsley Dewhurst, and number 8, name we said a lot today, Ryder Soroka, cleaning him up.
Atchison making his way into the Bear Den.
You know, those 2 defensive ends for Kelowna today have been really good for them. Soroka, 8, and Sandor, number 9.
All right, let's see what we got now from Reeves. Dominic Reeves under center as they're going to third down, and there's the false start. Yeah, you see the laundry go in the field there. So
and the Gronk spike from the quarterback. Yeah.
Procedure. There we go. Excuse me. The right terminology here from the referees up in the booth.
Illegal procedure.
So that'll move it back a little bit here on third down, and Cowichan likely going to punt it away here. As we see you see the sticks there, but you can't quite see the marker just yet, but it's 3rd and 9.
Yep. And punt formation now for Cowichan. They were going to keep the offense on the field, but that 5-yard penalty changes the map from an
Did you see that one coming? So gets pressed, and look at that. Flexing the muscles is Trey Jackman. But we do have a flag on the play.
And I think they might get a horse collar here, as that was a high tackle right up around the collar area. And even if it's not the traditional horse collar where there's a real clear tug from behind, if there's anything that's up around the opening of the jersey by which you make the tackle, that can be called a horse collar. So I think that's what's going to get thrown here. Cowichan's going to have to settle things down a little bit, though. That's the second play in a row where their players gotten up at the end of the play and spiked the ball in anger. And they got, guys, the second half's just started. Relax here. I know it was a tough first half, but you got to kind of clean the slate here.
And it's funny because we'll bring you into our world a little bit, but I coach on our baseball team with you, and you're the one that usually has to calm me down from time to time.
You've heard exactly what I just said before. Yeah.
Big surprise I get fired.
I was going to say, you're getting some flashbacks there.
Coach Randall's been in my ear a couple times as well, trust me.
And I am not the nominal coach on that team.
You're one of the players. I'm Reggie Dunlop.
You're barking at us from the dugout, and I'm barking back at you from first base.
I'm Reggie Dunlop on that team.
Anyway, so it was a horse collar. Going to move up 15 and give an automatic first down for Cowichan. So a little bit of a break there for the Bulldogs.
Let's see if they can take advantage of it now. They hand it off. Press goes up the middle. Look at this run. Right through. Caesar parting. There goes 22. Doing the 30, 35, the 25, the 20, 10, 10. Oh, I ran out of numbers. Just get him in the end zone. Put 6 on the board. What a run from Press. The Bulldogs have scratched the scoreboard.
And that is how you take advantage of a break in your direction. And it was Press, the guy who was the person who got tackled with that horse collar in the previous play, and he has consistently been kind of their best player, their standout player today, number 22. And he goes, it's a different play design as they go right up the middle. They go away from those 2 defensive ends. They've realized, and I hope they keep doing this, that Kelowna's strength up front is their edge players. Let's attack them up the middle, do something a little bit different here. And you could see it, big hole there right up the middle. And Press just gets north-south. Like, if you can... People forget this sometimes because, especially on the Canadian field, it's so wide.
Couldn't get the PAT afterwards, sorry.
There's so much space available out there. I think this is going to be offside on Kelowna, so I think we're going to try this again.
Can you do it again? Yeah.
But people they get carried away with, there's so much green space out there. It looks so tantalizing. But if you can run up the middle, if you can run in a straight line forward, that's what makes the most sense. So if you can do that effectively, then just do that.
Yep. And that's what they did there.
I'm a simple man.
And Press was able to get into the end zone. A 60-yard TD run there if my math is correct, and it's usually wrong, but 60 sounds about right.
Yeah, the players, we're going to take a second to reset here as most of the players did not realize there was a flag down. So that was offside on Kelowna. We are going to get another attempt at the extra points here.
No statistician with us today. Our friend Nick Hauka wasn't able to make it today, so
A little under the weather today, so
we're on our own here. But
ginger energy was too strong.
it was
yesterday.
too strong. People didn't like three of us in this booth taking over. So let's see if Cowichan can get it up and through with a second opportunity here. And this is big. They need these points. Got to get a good snap. Got to get it clean. That's going to be up and good. Look at that. Beautiful kick there from Prest. So that cuts the deficit now to 22-8 as Cowichan is on the scoreboard.
Some signs of life from the Bulldogs coming out of the coffee break here. And they got to be feeling pretty good about themselves. You know, again, they caught a pretty big break with that penalty there because that horse collar wasn't necessary. There was like 3 tacklers there. Like, it's a break. However, good teams take advantage of breaks when they're given to them, and that's exactly what they did. So hopefully, for the sake of competitiveness, I don't have a rooting interest one way or the other, but hopefully for the sake of competitiveness here, they can continue to ride that momentum and continue to really challenge Kelowna here. But we have not seen the Kelowna offense on the field yet in the second half here because of that sequence of events. So, that's going to be the key is backing this up with a stop now.
And that drive started from their own 36. So very positive momentum there as they try to do a squib kick. Did it go far enough? I don't think it went far enough.
I don't think any of the referees think it went far enough either.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. As I just got past a note, that 50-50 jackpot up to $2,300. The things you could do with half of that, oh my Gord. But
Appy's dinner and drinks.
And drinks, baby. Might even be able to afford an Uber.
Uber XL, baby.
Oh, baby. Let's not get carried away, though.
For those of you who are Andrew's age or older, Uber is a car sharing service.
Oh, get out of here.
It's an alternative to taxis.
All
they don't
right.
have to be yellow anymore.
Okay. You're the oldest 35-year-old I know. Get out of here.
I'm the only 35-year-old you know. Also, I'm 34.
Oh, man, really?
Yeah.
All right, back to the action here as Kelowna takes over with Cashton Orban. And the shotgun, he hands it off to his favorite back. And, of course, that's Daniel Lowe, who had himself quite the day.
But a really good play there by the linebacker, number 3, Landon Laver. Shoots the gap and makes the play there just a yard and a half beyond the line of scrimmage. First time we called that name today, but that was a nice little play there from 3 in the maroon and gold. It's quite the breed of Bulldog.
It's rare. You don't see many of them. Let's see what Kelowna can do here. Clearly, I'm not going to call the offsides anymore. So they throw the ball over to Murphy, and that is going to be a pickup. And look at this. He got one man to beat. He cuts into the inside. Maybe might have been able to burn him on the outside, but he cuts into the inside nonetheless, and a solid pickup there from Jonathan Murphy.
Nice catch and run there for Murphy. Oakland Burrell, 84, was in coverage, and we have praised him earlier in this game, and he can't quite make the play there. Of course, a little bit of a size disadvantage that he's at as well.
One thing I like about Cashton Orban, loves to throw the football.
Sure does. Like every quarterback ever.
Well, yes, but can some of them do it, though? That's the problem, and that's what we've seen at this level. But look at this. Nice. Lowe just racking up the yards, cutting right up the gut. This is smash mouth football, Gord Randall style.
There's that little GT counter play that we've seen them run a bunch today with the 2 pullers in front. You see 74 and number 3 there. Lead blocking for Lowe, and 3 never even actually had to block anybody. Just kept running.
He's having himself quite the day is Daniel Lowe. He's already got 2 majors in the first half. And he just continues to just eat up the yards. And if you've got a back like 21, yeah, feed the beast. As Orban now, he loves it in shotgun. He's got 2 guys into motion on his right. He ends up pitching it off, and that's Max Sabby. And Max Sabby is able to take it right down to the goal line. Didn't quite get in. but they are knocking on the door once again.
And I think he was able to get a first down there too, as they could get a first down at the 4-yard line. So it looks like it's going to be first and goal here from the 1. And Kelowna has taken this comeback bid, and they have kind of stomped all over it here.
Good pursuit there, though, from Landon Laver to hold up the major.
Just need to finish the drive. That's a play that we've seen a couple times today, too. A little bit of a wrinkle off of what they've been doing run-wise. They have logo and lead block to one side and toss on the end around.
So they stack it up
Savvy.
here. They're show and run.
Smith.
And that's what they do. Direct snap right back to him, and it's to Nolan Benson.
So they're going to say that the defense lined up offside here, which the old Canadian adage, by the way, the place that it makes least sense to line up offside is when the ball's being snapped from the 1-yard line, because you are lined up on the largest line on the field, the goal line.
And you're right. I shortchanged him. James Smith was in there, not 73. I thought that was 13, Nolan Benson. That was the big man.
Yeah, that was thick 13.
James Smith.
73, James Smith. So they put the big man in the backfield, and they just run full house power run. I like that as a short yardage package.
So 1-yard major for Smith, and that's going to extend the lead. It's up to 28 now. Let's see if they can get it to 30, and they do. That's up and good. So 30-8 now, the lead extends for Kelowna, who score in their first series here in the second half, and we saw a lot of that in the first half as well, as Kelowna continues to put points on the board. I want to remind you again about the junior national tryouts from Football Canada at Percy Perry on December 3rd. Check out Football Canada's website to register there. Steve Sumaro, the head coach. You ever get into the junior and any sort of national program yourself?
No, was not. When I was playing, wasn't really much of a thing yet.
Sure.
The Canada Cup stuff wasn't really a big thing yet. It was just starting out. And with parts of BC playing American football too, it took BC a little bit of time to kind of get organized and properly involved in those things as well. So a little bit more recent than me, so I didn't get a chance to do any of that kind of stuff. It's too bad. I would have absolutely thrilled at the opportunity.
Of course, shout out to our good friend Jim Mullen, the president of Football Canada, the host of TSN's Gridiron Nation, which Gord is the lead analyst on. If you haven't checked that out, do so on TSN TV. Airs on Wednesdays through Fridays. Check your local listings, and hey, one of your kids might be on that shows one day.
Yeah, and if you aren't too tired of my hot takes after today, you can go fire it up. There's a whole YouTube archive too. You can go back and watch.
Check us out.
Any past episode you want.
KGN on YouTube there, and yeah, you'll get to see his face as well. They don't give us camera time here, and it's probably
they did last night, and we were not ready for it.
That's right.
We were not ready for it.
Probably a good thing.
Looked a little more haggard than I would on the show.
Oh, look at this play. Look at this play. It's going to be a big chunk play if they can make it. Yes, they do, and he holds it in. What a catch. Oh, my. Hauled it in there. That's Kassan Ranhawa. And who had the throw? I believe that was Kendrick.
Yeah, I do see a flag down back the original line of scrimmage, but it was a halfback pass. I wonder with the nature of that play if this is going to be an illegal man downfield.
So look at this toss here and double
roughing
coverage.
The passer. So we're going to move it up another 15 here as we get roughing the passer on top. So it was
Roughing the passer this time.
It was Micah Kendrick, who, whereas Prest has been continuously a name we've been saying for the Bulldogs today, Micah Kendrick has been the guy that's jumped in with a few big explosive, big time plays, right? The big interception right before the half, and now that play there, fun little wrinkle, and then you tack on the 15, and that's effectively a 50-yard play right there. Nice job by Kassan Ranhawa to adjust to the ball in the air. It was slightly underthrown. Made it into a contested catch situation. Good job for him to come down with that successfully.
All right, so they hand it off now, and that's Prest who goes up the middle.
Eli Atchison, I think.
Or excuse me, Atchison, excuse me.
It's a bit of a mix-up, and he falls forward for another first down, and you can feel that momentum starting to swing here a little bit again.
It's Atchison on the carry.
As Cowichan looking to punch back again here. And they're looking like they got a lot more juice on offense than they did in the first half. Remember, they really struggled, especially early in the first half on offense. One of the changes they've made is they have been consistently under center as well, which I think has helped.
Dominic Reeves hands it off to Press. Press is going to get into the end zone. Yes, he does. Put another 6 on the board for Cowichan. They're starting to make this a game. Quite the major for Jesse Prest.
I don't believe that we saw that little lead dive to Prest at all in the first half. And with the way that it's gone the first couple times they've run it here in the second half, I'm kind of wondering why. It's been really effective for them. That was, of course, his first touchdown run was on that same play as well. So might have found something that is working for them here on offense. And while they still have to figure out a way to get a couple of stops here, we've got life in the Cowichan Bulldogs, and we have ourselves a football game.
Absolutely,
here.
And see if they can
When
put this 2-point.
When Kelowna was threatening to run away with it at the half.
Let's see if Press can get the 2 points up and through, and he does. Showing some good kick there as well, so that's going to cut that lead now to 14 points as it's 30-16 for Kelowna, and Cowichan staying in the fight. As they go 58 yards. 68 yards with that drive.
Yeah, so 30-16. Cowichan hanging around here. Kelowna's still in a pretty good spot, getting the ball back here. And of course, they had that 3-score cushion coming out of the half, but Cowichan putting the pressure on them a little bit here, making them have to work for it. With just under 5 minutes left here in the third quarter. Perfect day for football at this point in time.
Yeah. Gotta love this weather.
Let's go, Bulldogs!
Easy for us to say inside an enclosed press box.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the crowd seems pretty comfortable out there, and it's a good one as well. As they kick it, and it
going
goes.
to take a Kelowna bounce here and go out of bounds. A little bit of a missed kick there from Prest. And so, not Cowichan, Kelowna with pretty good field position here to start the drive. Those of you who don't know, by the way, Cowichan, that's the Cowichan Valley. That's sandwiched in between Victoria and Nanaimo. Biggest town in the Cowichan Valley where these guys are based would be Duncan. So for those of you that don't know Vancouver Island particularly well, that's where we're talking about. Cowichan Valley, of course, named after the Cowichan First Nation, which is indigenous to that area.
Kelowna, of course, out in the Okanagan. West Kelowna are the Grizz. And they'll start their second drive.
Also home to a significant First Nation.
Absolutely.
West Bank First Nation.
Yep. So start from their own 40 in their second drive of the second half as they hand off the ball this time to number 24. That's Connor
He gets the
Hibbard.
edge.
And Hibbard picks up a big amount of yards there. And that's going to be a first down. He's jacked up.
His first big play on offense. We did see him mix in a little bit there in that first half, but his first big play on offense, and he picks up a big 25-yard chunk on the first play from scrimmage.
Boy, that's something when you can have running backs like Lowe and Hibbard in your backfield.
Yeah, when that's the guy who's spelling off your starting running back.
Yeah. So under center now.
Well, of course, we also saw Kingsley Dewhurst, 22, spell him off too effectively.
There's the pitch play out to Lowe. And Lowe tries to cut inside. Nope, decides to go outside and hits the tightrope and ends up getting a few extra yards there.
Great job to tightrope the sidelines effectively, and I think that is the correct call. They marked correctly that he didn't step out, although you can see that.
See it here? Oh.
You can see that Micah Kendrick begs to differ.
Yeah.
But
I think he might have an argument, too. It looked like maybe about 5 or 6 yards before that he might have healed the end or the sideline, but we do not have any pylon cams here, unfortunately. Or I guess that would be a long shot from that pylon there.
yeah.
Stick it in all corners.
Yeah, there's no cable cam running between the uprights here.
Wasn't in the budget. Maybe next year. As Orban now
get those sweet government grants on it.
Hands off and cuts it up the middle to Lowe. Picks up a couple yards there. So this drive starting on their own 40, and they're already in just a couple of plays down to the Cowichan 20.
Kelowna mixing up the run plays and kind of just daring Cowichan to step up and stop it at this point. And up to now, at least, Cowichan has not been able to do so in this possession. That's the closest to a stop they've had, and that was only 5 yards on that play. So
this is game 2 of the day. A reminder, we got 2 more coming up. So if you're sitting around watching football today, why don't you put us on as well? As Orban.
I can think of a few reasons why not.
As Orban now with the pass. And Abel, what a catch! Oh my! Holy! What a catch there from Kingston Walker, who takes it into the end zone and puts another 6 on the board for the Grizz, the big paw pair. Bear paw, that is.
The Grizzly bear paw. Somebody check that kid's gloves.
Getting a little excited there, getting ahead of myself. The bear paw hauls it in, and what a catch from Walker.
Kingston Beckham Jr. out here.
Gotta love that.
He had to reach back behind his body, too. That is an exceptional catch. I heard applause from the other end of the press box here from the people watching. What a play by number 2 in red there. And he's going to back up. Look at this. He's going to back it up by long snapping for the extra point.
So it's 36 now, 16. Can they get the 2? No, they just smash it right into the line. And that's LaFrance that was right out there for the block. So 36-16 is the score.
Another flag down the far side here.
Uh-oh. Might want to hold tight. Might be have to redo this. We'll have to see.
How many times this weekend have we seen the defending team go offside on a PAT attempt?
Too many.
Like,
too many. And as you can see, LaFrance there as he.
Do we have to keep doing every one of these 3 times?
And if you're Cowichan, like, guys, we got the stop. Now we got to do this over again. You know, they had.
Yeah. And the guy that blocked it was not the guy who was offside.
And there it is there. So there they get the 2. So make it 38-16 now. So a 22-point lead.
And Kelowna responds right back. It's turned into a shootout here in the second half with the 2 teams going back and forth up and down the field.
Yeah, both. We've seen 4 series now, 4 touchdowns. A 20-yard touchdown catch there for Walker, as Kingston Walker with his 2nd touchdown of the game. He had a 17-yard one earlier.
Go, Bulldogs, let's take it up.
And as you're getting the long shot there of McLeod, you can see how beautiful the field is here. And what you can't see is the grandstands, but I can tell you they're full, and the people are into it. A lot of cowbells. We've heard the horn. They had to tell someone to knock it off.
Loudspeakers. We had a drum.
Yeah, with the drum last game. Yeah, so that gets fielded there by Kendrick, who now cuts it up and gets blasted there. A good tackle from Kingsley Dewhurst. And on the 3rd series of the second half for Cowichan, they will start things off from the 46-yard line.
A couple nice little players here on this Cowichan team. And they're battling here in the second half. You know, full credit, the Bulldog team has not given up on this game. They're still scratching and clawing.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially since they got shut out in the first half. They've scored twice now in a row to start the second half. Let's see if they can do it a 3rd time, but at some point they're going to have to start to get some stops on defense too. As they swing the pass out, it's picked up there.
Nice shake.
And that's Kendrick, who has now just got 2 men to beat. Can he get there? And good pursuit, and he's out of bounds. But a huge pickup there for the Bulldogs. That's going to move the sticks and get them into the Grizz territory. See the replay here. Nice little shake.
35-yard chunk there. Kendrick, and they tried to do this a few times in the first half and weren't able to get the ball out there, but yeah, they get the ball to Kendrick in space and let him do the rest, just on a little quick slant there to the left side.
So Cowichan now
Go, Bulldogs!
inside Kelowna territory. They'll start this drive off from Kelowna's 27. as they hand off the ball to Prest. And Prest, nothing doing there as he goes into the bear den and ends up getting mauled.
Yeah, I think he got a little bit too cute there as he saw a defender in his vicinity. And I thought he could have just kept running and outrun him, but he decides to kind of stutter step and try and break the tackle. And
great play there.
Right of Soroka. Too good to fall for that as he breaks his body down really effectively, gets into a nice low athletic position, breaks down, makes the tackle. Really good job. Number 8, I've been really impressed with the way he's played today.
Yeah, Soroka's having himself a day on defense for sure for the Grizz. As we see Reeves now calls out the play. Little swing pass, and that's a tough one too when you're looking over your shoulder the other way. That was Woodard, that was the intended receiver.
Tried that play a couple times today to very little success as well. So that'll bring up a 3rd and long here.
And you see just the way he's twisted his body there. It's just a tough one to get back onto, but
also he was tightly covered there too.
3rd down and 10 now. This is big here for the Bulldogs. They've got to continue to keep slugging back. Reeves, 2 men out to his left. He's got 2 in motion now. They hand it off to Press. Oh, right there into the backfield quick. We did see the laundry come out, and he was out there way too quickly. That was Max Sabi, and get the feeling that this one's going to go against the D. Oh, no, it's not. I just thought with Sabi being so quick there that maybe he was offsides. Look at right up in there.
Right up the middle there. So they're actually going to move this. Okay, why would they march off something? Oh, so they're going to call this a pre-snap penalty. Does Kelowna? Oh, no, they're going to. Okay, I was going to say. They look like they were going to march off yardage to Cowichan, too. I'm like, well, hang on a second. Kelowna got the stop anyway. Why would you bother marching off yardage?
So that'll be a TOD for Cowichan. And the Grizz now got to be feeling good about themselves, getting a stop, their first stop of the second half as they swing the ball out to Lowe. And Lowe does what he does, just pick up yards, and he's dragging 3 defenders as he gets the first down.
Yeah, does not want to go down easy there, and that's their version of get your athlete the ball in space as they swing that one out, try and get a couple blocks from the receivers in front. They got a couple good fit-ups this time, and then Lowe does the rest, just continuing to run through contact there because he was engaged about 3 yards short of the sticks and moves the chains with the extra effort there.
Like a Kendrick, Jesse Preston on the tackle there for Cowichan. Orban now, he's got a runner in motion. He fakes that handoff and then just ends up pitching it over to Hibbard.
Nice
and Hibbard is, when you got a 2-headed monster like that in the backfield, you might as well just keep feeding 21 and 24. Another first down.
Yeah, although another nice chunk there, but Jesse pressed another really good touchdown saving tackle there from 22. I think if he doesn't make that play, then Lowe is probably gone.
Yeah.
So picking up big chunks here. Kelowna Grizzlies on this possession again.
So we'll see what they've got now as they fake the handoff to Lowe. Swings out to his right on the run. Nice catch there. And a little stiff arm. And just to the outside there as he goes out of bounds. That's Soroka. And looking like a...
Again, look at the size disadvantage here, right? Like you can see Soroka just towering over these defenders that are trying to cover him.
And so that'll be it for the quarter as we'll flip the field now. And the Grizz are threatening once again. We'll see if they can get themselves into the end zone and get some more points. Extend this lead, which is 22 right now when we come back. Right here from McLeod.
Swing down to concourse level. Hit the swag table. Check out the food trucks. Awesome hot dogs and burgers. The best cookies in town. Great tacos. Give a shout out to Justin Rings, our sponsor for the weekend. And of course, Sport Canada for providing our live feed.
And welcome back into the action here at McLeod. First down for the Grizz as they hand off the ball to Lowe. There's a flag on the play. 2 defenders take him down as he picks up a couple of yards.
In the vicinity of a blocking infraction. It was thrown by the head referee, so we'll get a pretty quick signal here, I'm sure. And that's exactly what it is. It's going to be a hold here on the Grizzlies. That'll back things up 10. First and 20.
So first down still for the Grizz, but yeah, that'll take things a little bit back. Still into the Cowichan territory, of course. And as I mentioned, leading by 22.
Go get that ball!
As they hand the ball off to Lowe. Lowe now gets to the outside. There's a flag there as he cuts back inside. And we'll have to see what the flag is all about, but he's going to take it into the end zone. This would be his 3rd major of the game if it holds up.
I think it's going to be another hold, though. They're
Yeah,
going to
you're
get Kingston
right.
Walker on the hold out in front of that as he took his defender to the ground, and he doesn't love the call, but it looked like a pretty clear infraction. And right in front of the ball carrier, too. You're not going to get away with those. So little delayed draw there with a lead blocker in front, and you can see right on the edge of your screen, right there, you can see just the end of that as Walker taking his man to the ground. And the thing is, like, if you are going to, as a blocker, you're going to put the defender on the ground, you need to do it by driving him backwards. If he ends up being thrown to the ground in any way, shape, or form, that is a hold. That's going to be called basically every time. Even if you feel like you didn't hold him and his own momentum took him to the ground, it's just the mechanic of how that happens. It looks like a hold, which means it's going to get thrown.
So as you can see, that's moving things backwards now for the Grizz. And if you're a Bulldog supporter, you're liking this.
Yeah, well, I mean, we talked about breaks and taking advantage of breaks, right? So
Go get it, Woody!
this is a couple of big penalties in a row for Kelowna that, on that last one in particular, take points off the board.
Let's see what the Grizz can do here. And first in Pemberton. We're going north.
Yeah, this is further than Whistler. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Shotgun snap.
Don't
Orban.
worry, a little wet nose. Oh,
Exactly.
nice, wide open.
Look at this. Great to Lowe. And Lowe's like, all right, well, if you're going to take that back, it might not be the end zone, but we'll get a big chunk play.
Funny thing is, I mean, it was only first down, so it's
Yes.
all good. But the funny thing is, it was such long yardage. That was a huge play. He's still 2 yards short
Still
of
2
the sticks.
yards short of the sticks, exactly. But a big pick up there and a great throw from Orban, who, as we've seen through.
And he just got up and assumed it was going to be a first down.
Yeah.
Nope, not quite.
Don't worry, son, we get things wrong as well.
It was first and 30. It didn't quite get there.
He got to Whistler. He didn't quite get to Pemberton.
It's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Big Sky awaits.
Oh, I love Big Sky. Oh, my.
Big Sky country.
So shotgun snap, Orban hands it off
That
to
counterplay
Lowe.
again.
Yeah, and look at taking his lead blocker and just running right up behind him. That was Max Sabi that was blocking for him.
Boy, that's a really mature game from the running back, 21, Daniel Lowe. He's running like an older running back, saddling up his lead blockers. Look at this. That is what you want. If you're coaching a running back, that's exactly what you want him to do when you pull a blocker in front of him, is saddle up his help.
And Preston Kendrick both in on the tackle there. Preston making the most of it.
Smart
Orban.
kid. He knows that if he follows his blocker that tight, then the tacklers are going to hit the blocker first.
As we see Orban now with Lowe to his right, and yeah, just hands it off. Counterplay once again up the middle.
Nice stop, boys!
This time flushed out by the Bulldogs.
So, good stop there for the Bulldogs in tight here. Going to force a 2nd and 10. Ball was originally snapped from the 11, so Kelowna can get a first down without getting a score here, but it is, in effect, 2nd and goal.
So this play, or this series, started from their own 26. They're inside the 10 now as they throw to the end zone, and it's caught, and it's a major. Put another 6 on the board, and that's Jonathan Murphy with the major for the Grizzlies.
Murph.
Yeah.
10.5 yards out.
And that's going to make it 44-16 now. We'll see if they can get the 2-point PAT, but as we take a look at this beautiful toss there, and yeah, no doubter there from Murphy.
By the way, I'm seeing L and D badges on these Kelowna jerseys. Does that mean they're taking the Deion Sanders leaders and dogs thing?
Is that what that is? I was wondering what that. I don't know if I'd want an L slapped on me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I know.
As the 2 points go up and through.
That's
46.
Yeah, I think that's what they've done is they've
I was wondering what that was all about.
Borrowed
Yeah.
Deion Sanders leaders and dogs.
What are you, a leader or a dog? Dog. That's questionable. I'm a grown man. Love that response from the coach, Gord Randall.
I don't mess around with this kind of tomfoolery.
Yeah. And if you're not familiar, of course, Gord, the head coach of the Sullivan Heights Stars.
So, if you want a serious answer,
Yeah.
philosophically,
Oh, here we go.
it is my belief that the last thing I want leaders to do or to want to do is be singled out as a leader. I think if you truly are a leader, you don't want the recognition plastered all over your jersey, and I think you are sending the wrong message by going, okay, you're a leader. Here's something that makes you special compared to everybody else. That's not how the sport works.
And that is why he's a head coach,
structure I
folks.
want on my team is that my leaders understand that their way of being a leader is that they put in the time, they grind away just like everybody else. They don't expect the recognition for the extra work for the leadership role that they serve. That's what I want my leaders to be like.
Love it.
Go Bulldogs!
And if you're a young football player, take the tips from the coach. As they toss it out, try to run to the left side. Good tackle there. And that was Micah Kendrick on the play. As our time is ticking away here in the fourth Q. And Cowichan down 46-16.
And don't get me wrong, like there's different ways to run different shops, and also as a coach, you're constantly looking for ways to find recognition for your kids and to make them feel appreciated and to encourage them and all those kinds of things. So if you're using these things as a tool to do that, that's awesome, and I fully support that. For me, I like I said, philosophically, I just don't believe in singling kids out that way. But we have our own version of similar types of things. So we use, we're a team that uses pride stickers on our helmet, for example.
Yep.
Which you're familiar with as a Michigan fan, because
Absolutely.
their buckets are freaking plastered with those things. They got like 12 different versions of them too. There's like the TED Talk one.
Oh, when you're the Michigan Wolverines, you're the best program in college football.
You might as well rack up the stickers on your helmet because you ain't racking up national championships.
Oh, but how many wins over Ohio State have we racked up in the last little while? That is like the equivalent of a national championship if you're a Michigan Wolverines fan, folks. You know what's funny is that people listening to this probably think I'm from the Detroit area or Michigan area, considering I support Michigan football through NCAA.
From Southern Ontario?
NFL. Where I'm from, it's Buffalo Bills country. No thanks. Want no part of that. As Cowichan now
says the guy who's a
hands it
Detroit
off.
Lions fan. I don't want to cheer for bad football teams, so I picked the Detroit Lions.
As they hand the ball off there. Back to the action here, Gordo. Atlas Woodard.
I couldn't let that one stand.
We're
I'm
pretty
sorry.
cocky for a team that
I'm
hasn't
sorry.
done squat in 50 years. I know.
I'm sorry for the people that really wanted to focus on that play, but I could not let that one stand. That was unacceptable.
Yeah, exactly.
On behalf of the various friends I have who are Bills fans.
Listen, Canuck fans listening to this probably can agree with me because, they're pretty cocky for a team that's been down for a long time as well. Well, that's Detroit Lion fans feel the same way.
That would be like a Canucks fan be like, well, I'm not going to cheer for the Oilers.
Well, what have the Oilers done? As they pitch it off out to the outside there, this is Kaysen Randhawa, and I think the second time or so we said his name today. But, again, interesting play call, and this comes back to exactly what you were talking about. Like, why are you swinging everything to the outside? Go up the middle.
Yeah.
As they turn over on downs.
The philosophy of get your athletes the ball in space works if you have better athletes than the other team. But, Kelowna has a bunch of athletes on this defense, and they can track these things down. It's just has hardly worked today to be using those kinds of approaches. And I get it, too. Like, you're running low on time. You're down big. You probably feel pressure to be throwing the ball and trying to create big plays and stuff like that. But at some point as a coach, you also have to simplify things and go, what has been working for us today?
Yeah. As the snap is low, but Orban's able to hand it off too low, no pun intended there, and he ends up maybe picking up a yard.
Eli Atchison, 13, made a really nice defensive play there as he fitted up on his block. He eyed up the ball carrier, Lowe, waited to see where Lowe wanted to go, and when Lowe started trying to go outside, he shed it outside to keep his contain, push Lowe back inside, and then he gets off the block, makes the tackle to boot. Really good play by the defensive end for the Bulldogs there.
This is the 4th series for Kelowna, and all they've done on the first 3 touchdowns. So let's see if they can keep things going here. As Orban goes right, then that's where Lowe's going left. So let's go to 21. He sheds that tackle. He's got 2 men to beat. Is he going to beat the sideline? No, he can't do that, though, as he gets run out of bounds by Press. Another big pickup for 2-1.
And it's too bad, too, because the Cowichan defenders read that play really well. Shane Boatler, 36, was right in the point of attack there and then just couldn't quite finish the job and make the tackle. Same with Atlas Woodard. He was also in the vicinity. Both of them played that really well. Below just, the bigger, shiftier player was just able to force the missed tackle and turn it into a positive play anyway.
Wait until he starts playing on the bigger field.
Yeah, no kidding.
He is going to be outstanding. Just an absolute weapon is number 21 for Kelowna as he runs it up the gut there and ends up getting tackled.
Well, we talked a little bit about this yesterday. Kelowna's got some really good ball going on right now. In fact, the Okanagan in general has some really good ball going on right now. Rutland Secondary School, senior secondary from the east side of Kelowna was just in the provincial semifinal for high school football last night. They lost that game, but still, Final Four team. Vernon Secondary just up the road, also now in the provincial final at the AA level as well. So there's some good ball going up in the interior. Of course, Kelowna Senior, KSS, pretty strong team. Mount Boucherie out in the west side of town, pretty decent program too. So some good ball going up in Kelowna, and the next generation looks pretty good.
And look at this toss there from Orban to Lowe, and then put another major on the board for Kelowna and make it 4 for 4 in the second half when it comes to putting points on the board, as that's the 4th major of the half. And boy, is Daniel Lowe having himself a game. That is his 3rd touchdown today. Big game for 21.
I think we can probably dispense with throwing the ball from here on out, given that it is now a 52-16 ball game.
52-16 as Cowichan now just going to have to play out these final 3 minutes. Kelowna waltzing themselves to a victory as they put 2 more points on the board. That's going to extend it up to 54-16 now, as Lowe gets the major. Again, his 3rd of the day. What a day for Daniel Lowe, but at the same time, too, you can say what a day for a lot of the players on Kelowna. They've really spread it out.
And so now with the score spread being the way it is, I suspect that we'll probably just see the Cowichan offense take the ball to 45 here.
Yeah.
Especially with time running down.
So the 5th series for Cowichan will start on the 45. They went touchdown, touchdown, TOD, TOD. And that's been the second half for the Bulldogs. So
tried to make a game of it, and they look like they might have been making a game of it early on in the second half here, but Kelowna dug their heels in and pulled away. Made a couple stops on defense and made it clear to Cowichan that, hey, we're not going to let you hang around.
Yeah. 1st and 10 now. And Dominic Reeves, possibly the last offensive series for them, but we'll see. As Reeves hands it off to Prest, and then Prest tries to go outside again when he could have just went vertical there like you're talking about, Coach. Try to power through the defender as opposed to getting around him and giving time for others to come aboard.
And Kelowna defenders, that you can see, they've seen this play a lot.
You could see the pursuit player there as well.
Trey Jackman steps up and is just waiting there for him.
And Kingston Walker, in fairness, was right behind him too. So
I don't know that he had a lot of crease to go vertical there, but
if he's popping in, he's probably getting popped regardless. So some good defense there from the Grizz. I love the fact that I get to say the Grizzlies again.
Yeah.
Because I am of a certain age. I actually saw them play here.
You know who I miss? The late, great Don Poyer. I thought that guy was a fantastic play-by-play
Yeah,
voice.
absolutely.
I loved him.
I missed Super
Don
Grizz.
Boyer and Jay Triano. That was a great
Jay
play-by-play tandem.
Yeah, shout out Jay Triano. He's a great man. Great basketball mind as well, and of course, SFU alum.
Yeah, and served as Team Canada national team coach, Raptors assistant coach.
Yeah.
And, yeah, he knows his stuff. Of course, one of those.
The basketball lifer, that guy.
Yeah, one of those many, SFU types from back in the day where, he's from Niagara Falls area, I think, is he not? Yeah.
Yep.
Came all the way out here to SFU to do something different. It's that magic that they were trying to recapture in the last decade or so of having that unique brand of being the.
When are they going to recapture the football magic? Oh, that's
Never.
right. They decided to flush that.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Well, it turns out once the pipe dream started falling apart, they just decided to cut bait.
As Reeves now just hops up the ball. Just throw it up there. And that is going to tick away on the clock, and you can see the celebration. In fact, you can see some fireworks out there, I believe. Is that what we just saw? Who knows? Look at that. There's Daniel Lowe. He has got himself jacked up because he is a provincial champion after a 54-16 win for Kelowna over Cowichan. What a game here for Daniel Lowe. 3 touchdowns on the day. And the Grizz come through victorious. That's going to be a nice drive back to the Okanagan.
I mean, you're going to be in good spirits for the drive back to the Okanagan.
That's what I mean.
I don't know if it's going to be a nice drive.
Hey, with this weather today, who knows?
It's true.
So 2 more games still to come, as we've got 2 in the books. We've got the junior bantam 12-man coming up, plus the midget 9-man. But coming up next in that junior bantam 12-man, it's the Saanich Wolverines versus the White Rock Titans. Stay with us right here on YouTube. We're here all day. It's the BC Provincial Football Association Championships.
Tonight, please get both teams lined up on the 50s. Just a reminder, the track area is closed. On the bleacher side, you will be invited onto the field to take photographs following the presentation. Teams come over, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up for Cowichan. They work hard all season to win Big Cup. And let's hear it for the Kelowna Grizzlies representing the SIFC. Take this opportunity to recognize our sponsor, Johnston Rain. Live feed. Big thank you to the this weekend. Amazing hot dogs.
Yeah, I can't touch it.
And the tacos are simply awesome.
No.
Jake, it's 9-man, you're fine.
We're good, it's 9-man.
You ready, Kev?
Yeah, I'm good.
For the presentations, I will turn the microphone over to the president of the BCPFA, Mr. Kevin Parks.
I had one fan up there. Good morning, afternoon, I don't know. It's been a long weekend. So welcome everyone to the championships. So we got some thank yous here. First of all, I'd like to thank all the volunteers that made this possible for this weekend. There was a lot of work that went into it, so please give them a hand. Look behind you. All these coaches, trainers, managers, everyone who comes out. These guys and gals work 7 days a week to get you on the field and make you look good. So give your coaches an award. Okay, so we'll get to the fun stuff. So we have some awards. I think it's every game. I know I see it a lot. I call myself the coach's president, and I think Coach put in a lot of work. So I started this last year, and if I could have the Kelowna coach come up and receive the game ball, please. Good? Good. Excellent. What's first, sportsmanship? All right, so our first award, team award here is the sportsmanship award for Kelowna, number 9, Easton Samuel. And the MVP for Cowichan is number 64, Ryder LeBron. Okay, take that. See the lady under there? When you're done, go get your lady size. You get to keep that. 1 sec. Just so everyone knows, I've been doing this a long, long time, and that is only the second time in my history that a lineman has got an MVP award. So congratulations, man. I love it. Who's this? Daniel Lowe. And the MVP for Kelowna is number 21, Daniel Lowe.
Take the balaclava off for the photo.
No, off. There's the locks. Take that. Here.
Put it back on.
Here. Look at the cameras over that way. Okay, when you're done, go see the lady over there. Get your ring size. All right? Okay. Someone get rid of this. Someone get rid of this.
She'll touch it.
Okay, now for the fun stuff. If I can get the captains up here for the winning team.
Captain dog. That's captain.
Oh, I want the dog.
No.
Yeah, give me the dog.
No.
Sorry, dude. That's 9-man. Sorry. I haven't won the 12-man. I'm not allowed to touch it.
There could be bleed over. You never know.
I can touch the 9-man. Okay, there you go. Take that. Guys, do a picture. Guy in the gray. Good? Good? I think he's good. Perfect. Okay, you're good. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, your provincial champs, Kelowna. Who's doing the medals over here?
Under the crossbars there?
Line up.
Line up first. Hey, where you going? What? You have to. Thank you. down there first. She'll be there afterwards. Don't worry. You won't see